What's going on, everyone? I guess this video is dedicated to those who are searching for a unique, high-powered e-bike, right? If that sounds like you, and that sounds like the quest that you've been on, maybe you've run across Amp Rides, based out of Orlando, Florida, and they make some unique, customizable, high-powered e-bikes like this one right here. This is the Volt 1500. Let me show you. All right, everybody, this beautiful beast is the Volt 1500 from Amp Rides, and I'm gonna give you kind of a real quick walk around the bike to show you all the components on it, and then we'll jump on it, do some performance tests so you can see how fast this thing really goes, how it climbs hills and all that. And then at the end, I'm gonna try to do a little bit of a comparison to my Ariel Rider Xclass 52 volt and show you how those two bikes match up. So that's the video plan. Let's get rolling. This bike is a 20x4 fat tire, and they're the V Speedsters. Very slick tread on there. I mean, there's a little bit of grip, but this is mainly a street tire. 4-inch wide. They are true 4 inches wide as well. They are fatter than most of the 20x4 fat tire bikes. And you got disc brakes on this, of course, hydraulics with the amount of power this thing's got. Tektro Dorado quad piston brakes. Not dual, quad. These brakes are very, very good. You can lock up the wheels going 30 miles an hour if you want. They have a lot of stopping power. Here's what the levers look like, and they are super powerful. I locked up the back wheel a couple times, and with these tires, with this tread, instead of giving like a skid, it gives you a loud squeal. It's hilarious. It's really loud though. Now what we're looking at here with this specific bike is their Elite package. They have different package levels at different pricing points, and you can get different options, right? The base model I think goes for around 2,300 bucks. This one as it sits I think is around 2,900 bucks, and I'll go through some of the Elite package options here and point those out. So the Elite package, one thing is this paint. This is a hydrographic paint. It's kind of a cool like carbon fiber weave to it. Really cool paint job on this bike. Excuse some of the blemishes. This is their demo bike that goes to trade shows and to e-bike reviewers, and so it's got some scratches on it from shipping, but very cool, unique paint job on this bike. The forks, this is part of the Elite package. It's got these little bit taller motorcycle style forks. This motorcycle style headlight, part of the Elite package. It comes with the regular. It's got two headlights, right? this one's actually brighter. This one's kind of more for show, I think. The BMX bars, that's part of the Elite package. Instead of having the regular tall like beanstalk style bars, you got the BMX style bars. And what else? The battery. I mean, look at this battery. It's like a bazooka. It's ginormous battery. 28 amp hour battery on this bike. It's just huge. 52 volt, 28 amp hour. I think the base model I think has a 48 volt, 21 amp hour. I think all the specs are on the website. You can go read it, but those are some of the main things that are, that make this bike the Elite package. And also the tires too. I mean, those V tires are not cheap. I think these Speedsters go for like 160 bucks a set. So these are a tire upgrade on here as well. So the bike's got two different headlights on it. This one I didn't find to be very bright. It is very cool looking though. This one was actually way brighter. It comes with fenders. You got fenders. Brakes I already mentioned were fantastic actually. Let me turn it on so you can see the display screen. It's a full color display screen on the bike. Very easily readable. Gives you everything you need: battery voltage, miles per hour, odometer, pedal assist levels. 5 levels of pedal assist. You can actually go in the settings and change that if you want more levels of pedal assist. Over here on this side, so your typical button cluster here to go through levels of pedal assist and turn your headlight on and the menus and power and everything. Left hand thumb throttle on this bike. Comes with turn signals, horn. The turn signals, I'll get a camera shot of that so you can see what they look like. It's got brake lights, tail lights, and turn signals, so good lighting package on this bike. And this is another Elite package item right here. These locking, they're like a gel, a squishy, can you see that squish? Very comfortable locking leather gel grips. That was another upgrade. So those are nice. I like those. On this side, it's an 8-speed. You got your trigger shifters here. I like these better than the thumb one a lot. That's probably why there's the thumb throttle over here, because it would interfere with these. Slide into the back of the bike here. It does come with a rear rack, nice sturdy rear rack on there. That battery, again, is just absolutely ridiculous. It's huge, easily removable here. You just, unkey it and pull it out of there. The key's got to stay in while you're riding. Not a huge fan of that, but there's a lot of bikes that are like that, honestly. And your controller's hiding in the box down here, which I actually swapped out when they gave me the bike too. They sent it with a new controller, so I put in the new one with the updated mapping in it. But let's go over here and get a better view from the other side, because I want you to see that this is a full suspension bike. You've got, of course, the front suspension fork and this rear shock here, which is an air shock. I had to pump that up to the correct setting so I'd have some nice air suspension to ride on. It's a little stiff. Maybe I put too much in there. I found the suspension a little bit stiff, but it does have full suspension, which is nice. Not every bike can say that. And at this price point, I really feel like you should have that. It's a cool, unique frame design, but it makes the bike big. This is a big bike. It's larger than most of the 20x4 bikes. It's longer, it's taller, it's probably heavier. I mean, as this bike sits, it weighs 88.5 pounds on my scale. So it's not a lightweight bike by any means. A lot of that's probably battery weight though, because that battery is just huge. And it is a folding design too. I mean, right here's your folding mechanism, so this will fold right in half. If you do need to make it a little bit smaller, this is not going to be a very small bike once it's folded either, and it's still going to weigh a lot. Amprides gives you a great front chainring here. This is a 56 tooth chainring, and in the back it's an 1134. So you got some really great gearing on this bike, which is what you need when you have a bike that's going 30 plus miles per hour. A lot of them just lose pedal feeling at 25. You're just ghost pedaling. Not on this bike. You can still pedal even at high speed because of that gear setup. And this bike is somewhat tall. I don't have any issues because I'm 6 feet tall, so I can get on this no problem. But that seat height, I'll put the minimum seat height on the screen. It's not one that's going to appeal to very short riders, I'll say that. And I mentioned this bike is powerful. It's very powerful bike. I don't know what size motor is in it technically. I mean, they just say that it's a they call it the 1500 watt, and it peaks at 2000. And it's on this specific bike here, it's a 52 volt battery, and they have a 40 amp controller in this thing. So yeah, those numbers are right. This thing has got some serious power to it, and I'm going to go out and show you right now what this thing can do. All right, we got a nice long straight stretch here after this car. Let's see what the top speed is. All right, let's get on the road. Throttle only top speed 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 2, 33, 33, no pedaling. What happens if you pedal? Oh wow, there's so much feeling in the pedals. 34. I need stronger legs though. Yeah, I just can't push hard enough. 34 is about the top I think you're going to get with the pedals. That's pretty good speed though, holy cow. You don't even need to pedal and go 33, 34. Alright, here's one thing I want to point out about the acceleration on this bike. It's not a really super hard hit off the line. It has a hard hit when you're already moving. Like, watch this. Look at that. You hit that throttle at 20 and it just pops, man. So much so that I ride with my one finger over the back brake. In case it gets away from me, I can pull the brake. Because man, you touch that throttle and you can probably hear the motor too kicking in. It kicks in so hard. This thing kicks like a mule. All right, so the power delivery from the throttle on this bike is unlike anything else I've ever been on. Pedal assist level 1 and 2 is very tame. Like, look at the acceleration from pedal assist 1. Nice and gradual, right? And then let's bump it up to 2 and we'll hit the throttle again. Still pretty gradual. And then you bump it up to 3, it really pulls. 4, you can hear it. It is power right now, on demand with that throttle. Crazy. It's, for those who like hard-hitting power, you're gonna love this bike. If having that hard power hit scares you, this bike will terrify you. Because it has a really punchy, it's the best way, that's the word I'm looking for, punchy. It's so punchy with the power delivery. Crazy. Look at that. You can like hop down the road. It's fun though. I mean, if you're riding next to your friend on an e-bike and you're like, all right, we're going 20 miles an hour, let's each smash the throttle, you're gonna blow his doors off when you hit that throttle. It just kicks in so aggressively. It's a lot of fun. This is For the power hungry crowd looking to compete with some of those powerful bikes, this thing is gonna really appeal to you and I think be a lot of fun. But we're gonna, God, these things are loud. We're gonna go over here and hit the hill climb really quick, see how it does on hill climb. All right, so here we are at hill climb. The fastest bikes usually go up around 22 seconds. That's for like your regular 750 watt fat tire e-bike, right? About 22 is the quickest. The bikes like Ariel Rider, that went up a lot faster. I'll throw the times on the screen, but let's see. We're in pedal assist 5, we got full power. Let's see how fast this one goes. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Pretty decent pull off the line there. Already up to 15 miles an hour. Very strong. Just building speed the whole way. The little steep spot here, powered through and finish. And now it's really pulling. Yeah, this thing's powerful. This is a really powerful bike. But riding around in pedal assist 1 and 2, it feels just like a normal e-bike. Once you hit 3, 4, and 5, that's when it gets that really punchy power delivery. So the power and power delivery on this bike is not for the faint of heart. I'll say that. If you're a power and speed enthusiast, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this thing. But it's a pretty comfortable bike to ride too, with the BMX bars. You know, your hands are up nice and high. I like that. The seat goes plenty high for me. You can actually pedal it. You know, bikes like the moped style Ariel Riders, you know, you can't really pedal those very well. You can actually pedal this one like a normal bike. So it is a comfy seating position. I like it a little bit better. I don't like to be hunched over when I ride. And remember I was talking about the brakes, squealing the tires. Let's lock them up really quick. Oh my God, it's so loud. So loud. I guess it's that tread pattern, because it's basically like a racing slick on the back of this. So anytime you touch that brake and lock them up, you just get a chirp, chirp. All right, quick suspension test. Whoa, boy. I mean, it's working. I'm making it work here. But it soaks these up. That's pretty smooth. That's pretty smooth. It can handle that for sure. But let's, we want to hit our extreme hill climb. Oh, it's gonna be bumpy with the roots over here though. Let's do our extreme hill climb where we make the bikes fail. A lot of bikes have just outright failed on this, because it's this short little steep grassy hill. This thing's gonna blast through it. I got a feeling it's got plenty of power for this. So we just back up right here. It's like a 20-foot wall here we try to climb. Move back up to here, we put it in full power, we just hit the throttle and see if it makes it. Most of the like 750 watts, they fail. They can't do this. The ones at peak, like 1500, 2000, they usually do fine on this. They've got the power, but here we go. No sweat, no problem. This thing's it's got some juice, that's for sure. It has got some power. Give you another quick look at this thing, and then we're gonna head back, because it's starting to, I feel sprinkles already. It's starting to rain on me, so I gotta get home. I don't want to get caught in the rain. And we're gonna take a look at this compared to another bike you might be considering, the Ariel Rider Xclass 52 volt. How do they match up? I'll show you some of the, you know, the parts that where they differ, you know, component wise, what you get for your money, because they're very similar priced. You know, base model on this like 23, I think Ariel Rider's like 23, 24. So which one are you gonna pick? Let's go take a look at them side by side and talk a little bit about what it's like riding each one of those. All right, we made it back to the garage. Now let me talk to you a little bit about how the Volt 1500 from Amp Rides matches up against some of its competition, the Ariel Rider Xclass 52 volt. All right, so the closest thing in my garage that compares to this Amp Rides Volt 1500 is probably this bike over here, the Ariel Rider Xclass 52 volt. If you're out there searching for a powerful e-bike, you may have run across these two bikes. They are very similar in terms of power and performance, but they've got a little bit different styling. They've got some different features. Now let's get the big one out of the way right at the beginning. How do these bikes compare performance-wise? So with regard to acceleration, they are very similar off the line. I think I would probably give a slight edge in acceleration off the line to the Ariel Rider. I think it was just a touch quicker off the line. The Amp Rides Volt, it hits really hard after you're already moving. You touch that throttle, man, it really engages and you take off. So where do you want your power delivery, I guess? In terms of top speed, they're almost identical. Yeah, I was able to hit 35 on the amp rides, and I think I hit 33 or 34 on the Ariel Rider Xclass. So I mean, they're right there, very similar, a couple miles an hour off from each other. Both 30 plus very easily. They're both very fast, very powerful bikes. Hey guys, quick update on the performance of the Volt 1500. I wanted to let you know that as I was editing this video, I noticed the battery voltage that was reading out on the display screen wasn't as high as I thought it should be. And after investigating a little further, I realized I have the wrong battery charger. The battery and the charger are shipped out directly from one of Amp's suppliers, and the supplier sent the wrong charger. They sent me a 48 volt charger and it's a 52 volt battery. So the entire time I was riding and testing this bike, the battery was never fully charged, so I never got full power out of this bike. So pretty impressive that it was able to keep pace and even outperform the Ariel Rider Xclass in a couple areas, even though the battery wasn't fully charged. So on a 52 volt battery, we should see, you can see it's green right now, 52 volt battery, it should be reading like 58 on the screen. And if we turn it on, we'll see that it's only reading about 54, which is what a 48 volt battery should be reading, 54.5. So there you go. Didn't even get a chance to ride the bike with a fully charged battery and experience the full performance of the Volt 1500. Now I've ridden these bikes back to back multiple times, trying to feel the differences between them. And you know, the acceleration is very similar, the top speeds are very similar. The biggest difference between the power on these bikes is just how the power engages. So the Amp Rides bike, it's a very kind of hard-hitting, punchy power. The Ariel Rider is very smooth. It's buttery smooth all the way through the power range, the power band. Whether you're taking off from a start or you're accelerating as you're going, it's never abrupt in any way. It's just very smooth power delivery at all times. This one can be fun. If you like the power, that punchy power, you're gonna have a blast with this thing. They're both powerful. I would say the Amp Rides is more of a thrill ride, punchy ride though. The Amp Rides, the throttle is tied to the pedal assist. So the higher the pedal assist number, the more power you've got in the throttle. On the Ariel Rider, you have full throttle at all times. It doesn't matter what pedal assist level you're in. And I point that out because no matter what level you're in here, you crank the throttle, you're gonna get full power available to you, and it's very smooth taking off. This one, that pedal assist number really matters. When you're in pedal assist 1 and 2, very calm, very tame, very easy to ride. And then when you bump it up to pedal assist 3, 4, or 5, it really livens up this bike. It really dumps a lot of power in. So I guess to summarize the power delivery a little bit for you, Ariel Rider, powerful but smooth at all times. Amp Rides, it's smooth in pedal assist 1 and 2, 3 through 5, it's an exciting ride. Now there's a lot of ways that these bikes are similar. They're both 20x4 fat tire bikes. They are both 80 plus pounds. They have motorcycle style headlights. They both have dual suspension, so Ariel's is tucked here under the seat like that, and the Amp Rides right here. Amp Rides is an air shock and is adjustable. The Ariel has an adjustable shock on here, but it is not an air shock. What else? So it's just a different styling, right? This is more of your moped style bike, non-adjustable seat height on this. It's not the easiest bike there is to pedal. You can pedal and put a little bit into the pedals, but it's not built for pedaling. This one is much easier to pedal just because it has a taller seat height. You can adjust the seat height because it's got a regular bike seat on it. It's got taller handlebars, especially with the BMX bar option that's on this version. I actually have a 3-inch stem riser that I added to the Ariel Rider Xclass just to bring the handlebars up higher. I didn't feel they were high enough. If you're looking for more of a bicycle seating position and a taller ride, then the Amp Rides is for you. If you want more of the moped style, cafe racer, whatever you want to call it, then Ariel Rider is the way to go. The Amp Rides bike feels like and is a larger bicycle. It's heavier, it's longer, it's taller, it's a bigger bike. I found it easier for me, being 6 feet tall, to ride this bike, and of course the pedaling as well. They have such a huge chainring. It's a 56 tooth chainring, and then the back's got that gearing 1134. So you never run out of pedal. I could pedal this bike at 32 miles an hour, and there was still tons of feeling in the pedals. This bike, it was only like a 42 tooth on the front here. So at 25 miles an hour, you're just pedaling like a madman. I believe Ariel Rider has switched this. I think they now put a larger chainring on there. Another thing to point out about frames, of course, this is your moped style bike frame here, and this is a folding e-bike, so you can fold this up. It's a big bike though. I mean, don't think that this is a kid's bike just because it has the 20-inch wheels on it. It is a substantial bike, and it weighs close to 90 pounds. If you did need that capacity to fold a bike, then this one's got it. Another spot they differ is the display screen and controls. So the amp rides, let me turn it on for you. You've got a full color display on this one, which I like a lot. The Ariel Rider does not have that. They just have a little tiny display offset to the side. Over here and turn this one on. This right here is my backup camera that I added. So this is the actual e-bike screen over here, this little one. I would say the amp rides has a little bit better screen if you're wanting a full color display. They both have hydraulic brakes. They both brake awesome. Battery size is different though. Ariel Rider, I believe that's an 18 amp hour, whereas this one is a 28. Now, this is the Elite package. I think the standard package has a 21, I want to say. So it's still going to be bigger than Ariel Rider, but not too crazy of a difference. All right, so these are both very powerful bikes. They're both very fun. They both, I think, look great in their unique styling. There's probably a lot more information out there on the Ariel Rider bikes, a lot more videos. That company just has a higher production amount per year, I think, than AMP does. And I was riding around today on the Volt trying to think, okay, well, who is the Volt 1500? Who's that bike for? And what came to my mind was, you know, I've seen a lot of videos out there where people are doing group rides, right? And they're all on their moped style bike. They all have a Xclass or a Grizzly or maybe the Onyx or a Super 73 RX or a juiced Hyper Scorpion, right? And I think that's where this bike comes in. If you're part of that crew and you want something different and you want something unique that no one else has, that's where this Amp Rides comes in, because it's a very customized, one-off kind of bike. It's unique, it's a smaller company, and these I think are largely custom built. They're, you know, made to order. You got to order it and pick the package you want and all the specs you want. So you end up with a little bit more of a customized ride, and it's a little unique in that sense. I think that might be the audience they're trying to grab, the person that wants that powerful yet different e-bike to ride around with their friends. I could definitely see this bike filling that niche market. And if that sounds like you and what you're looking for, then check them out. I'll of course link the website in the description and a link to the bike as well. It's just a link. You know, I don't get anything if you buy one. I'm just here to give you information, maybe help you to decide if this bike is what you're looking for. Thank you for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed that information on the Volt 1500 from Amp Rides. I got to get this bike packed up now. It's on its way off to a trade show, but I will be taking a ride on another Amp Rides bike, the Razorback Elite. I got that one on the way, so we're going to get to ride another Amp Rides bike. So if you want to see that information, do me a favor, hit subscribe and the bell so you know when that comes out. Hope that was helpful today. If I missed a question you got, put it in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. I think that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching.